did a couple of weeks ago. This will all be very familiar to you. I did a Sitecore webinar as well last week. That's why the date's up here. But yeah, basically the topic was speedrunning Sitecore Send. So the purpose of it was to give everyone a high-level overview of the most important elements of Sitecore Send in a ridiculously short amount of time. So like Rian said the other day, it was a kind of like listening to a podcast at 2x. So hopefully I can get through all of this. But if not, Skyla, feel free to let me know. So what is Sitecore Send? So Send is Sitecore's SaaS email tool. So it comes from the MooSend acquisition in May 2021. So they've had 2 years to kind of integrate it into the Sitecore ecosystem. Its main selling points is that it's easy to use, it's flexible, there's lots of kind of drag and drop features, templates, things like that. So it's really it's user friendly, and it fits into this kind of composable world that you see with the Sitecore little Lego blocks all fitting in together. So this is where it is. The kind of breakdown of these 7 things that I'm going to talk about today are the email lists. So that's kind of who you're sending your emails to and what data points you have on them. There's the campaigns. So these are the emails themselves, how they look and feel, and what info's in them. There's the forms, so how you can get new users into your lists and what info you want them to give you. And the segments, so how can you group your users together based on common characteristics, so you can send them relevant stuff. Automation, so how you can set up automated messages based on certain triggers and conditions. There's reports, so how you can view how successful your campaigns are, and then integration, so getting your system to share information with other tools or platforms. So anyone involved in CRU knows how important that is, because all their user information is in Salesforce, so you have to hook Send up to that so it can speak to it. Yeah, so those are the 7 things. Hopefully I can get through at least 5 or 6 of them before Skyla cuts me off. So yeah, then I'll jump in so I can get rid of this. I will share my screen. Give me 1 second. So can you see my Sitecore dashboard thing or no? Okay, here we go. Cool. Okay, so this is the main. Yeah, okay, I can see. Thanks. Yeah, so this is the main Sitecore Send dashboard. So when you get onto the dashboard, you can see kind of your latest campaign activity. So from your last email campaign, who opened it, who didn't open it, how many people it went to, how many people clicked, unsubscribed. You can see a nice kind of preview thumbnail image of it there. And then below that, you can see a kind of consolidated information of all the campaign activity over the last 30 days or 60 days or 90 days with, how many campaigns you sent, how many people opened it, what were the performance like, stuff like that. So the first thing I'll go into now is campaigns. So I'll go into regular campaign. So you can do that from the campaigns tab up here. So when you go into campaign, you see a list of all your campaigns. And we'll create a new one here. So you can see all the information on it too. So opens, clicks, recipients, stuff like that. So this is a demo one I did for a video the other day. So when you go to new, there's 4 different types. There's repeatable or RSS. We're not going to really talk about them. There's A/B testing. So you can send 2 different emails to the same, where 2 different variations of an email to the same list, 50-50 or whatever breakdown you want, and see what one performs better. And the regular one is the one we're going to go into now. Actually, before we do that, we're going to go into email lists. I just realized that that's the second thing. Okay, so we're going into email lists first, because you have to create an email list before you build a campaign and send it the campaign. So the email lists, again, once you go into email lists, you can see all the lists that you've created, all the information, how many people you've got in them. We can go up to create a new email list. Let's give it a name. Let's just say demo list 2. Create it. So when you get onto an email list, there's all this stuff at the side. There's the dashboards. We haven't sent anything yet, so it's obviously not gonna come up with anything. We've got the members. We've got bulk actions, which I'll go into in a minute. We've got settings, which you can control whether you want it single opt-in, soft double opt-in, so the user will get a verification email, but they don't need to click it to be in the list. And the strong double opt-in, that means they do need to click the verification link, or else they won't get into the list. And we've got custom fields here, which I'll show you in a second, and segments. So custom fields. This is really important. So again, like with CRU, they're going to have hundreds and hundreds of these per user. So the out of the box ones are email, name, and mobile. But we have an example list that we're going to upload, and that's going to have another custom field in it. So we're going to call it team, because the list that we have is for a few of us in the experience team, where it's mainly SOC team. So we need to add a field for team. So there's 5 different types of custom field you can have. So you can have text, date, or number, which are hopefully self-explanatory. And then you can have a single drop down, which is basically a fixed set of options that you can choose. Also, there is a checkbox, which is basically a yes, no, binary kind of on or off option that you can have. So we're going to add teams. So we're going to create a single select drop down. So the user has to pick between teams. So we're going to pick experience team, add another option. We're going to pick engineering, and then maybe delivery as well. Just a few different options to show you how it goes. And then we don't need any of these. You can make it required or hide it. We don't need that. So save custom field, and you can see that it's in the fields. So now we want to add a few members to our list. So you can do that from view all members. You can add a member, but that's kind of manual. And it's that'll be a bit of a time suck. Or you can perform bulk actions. So these bulk actions could be importing, archiving, unsubscribing, deleting, copying members from another list. So in the import members into list, we're going to do that. There's 5 ways of doing it. So you can do it by CSV or text file, Excel file, copy and paste, or you could hook it up to Google Contacts or Salesforce plugin as well. So we're going to just do an Excel file because I've got this for the demo. Here we can choose our file. So I've got it on, where is it? McWebinar. I've got a demo email list with just the SOC team in it. You have to say yes that they have consented if you're importing it via an Excel and it's not via a form. You have to say, yeah, these people actually allow me to put them onto a list. Then we get to data mapping. So we've taken in a bunch of information from an Excel file, but the send doesn't know what these columns mean, basically. So it can pick up email because we've got emails in it, but it doesn't know that this is names essentially, or this is teams. So we have to select these from the mapping. You can imagine if there's an email list with people with hundreds of fields, there's going to be a lot of mapping to do. But yeah, there's kind of no way around that. So do we want to be notified? No, that's fine. So it actually takes a little bit for the members to end up in here. So we're not going to focus on that. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to go into our campaigns and create a campaign. So like we did before, we're going to create a regular campaign. You can choose between HTML or plain text. We're going to give it a campaign name. Let's say demo campaign 2. There's a demo campaign 1 in there. You can choose a subject line, preview text, doesn't matter. You choose a from name and reply to. This is just a demo, so we don't have anything set up, but we would have like support or marketing or whatever that might be. You might have like if it was line trust, it could be Simon, whatever. You can say if we want it being tracked by Google Analytics, track campaign revenue. That's if you're sending out kind of e-com emails. So let's go next. Then we choose email list. So every campaign has to be linked to a list. So let's link it to the list. It still hasn't registered subscribers yet, but give it a bit of time. And then we go on to design. So there's 2 ways of doing it. There's custom design template, or there's importing via HTML, which you can actually just dump in your HTML code, which is pretty handy. This one, we're going to design one. So start designing. So there's a bunch of templates here. This is the template library, so you can use any of these. You can also save templates and use them for later, or you can create it from scratch. Not really recommended. But let's use this one. You can kind of preview them here. You can see what the templates look like on different types of devices. Let's use this template, and we'll go into the campaign editor. So the campaign editor looks like this, and it's a similar design that's used for the forms as well. So hopefully, we only got 4 minutes left, but hopefully you'll see that in a second. But the way this is set up, so there's layouts. So these are basically like full container width, half container width, and so on, different variations. These are like the containers that your information or items fit in. We have the items here, which are basically images, text, button, articles, things like that, and you dump them into the containers. And then we have settings as well, which lets you kind of mess around with the formatting of it. So you can mess around with like border color, border width, all that type of stuff. It's all kind of design stuff. And you can play around with it there. If you want to change something in one of the items, you can mess around with it here. And if you want to change the formatting of an item in particular, once you click into it, you'll be able to do that from the right-hand pane as well. So these are kind of item specific, but let's see, mess around with the formatting as well. So once you've got it just the way you like, you can go up and you can save it as a template or save it as a draft if you want to keep working on it later. You can also continue on your campaign and say, fine, I want to use this as my my email campaign or my design for the campaign. Then schedule delivery. So you can send it now, or you can pick a time that you want it to be saved or sent. And there's also, so we're going to do send campaign now. There's also an option to resend campaign to non-openers, which is kind of cool. So if a user doesn't open it after, say, 7 days, we can resend the email to them. It's not double sending it because they haven't opened it. So you can also change your subject line as well if you think that your subject line or the person you've sent it from was one of the reasons why they didn't open it in the first place. You can kind of have another go at it there. So then we can go next. And we got a preview. It just basically shows you all the options that you picked throughout the whole process, shows you a little preview of it, and it lets you send it. So I'm going to send it now, and then me and Christine and Izzy and Nat are all going to get another email into our inbox. So that's great. So we're going to return to our campaigns here. So we've only got 2 minutes left. So I'm not going to actually have time to show you anything, but I will quickly show forms. So this is basically how you get users into your list. So I'll show you just really quickly. This is one we've kind of designed already. You can the settings or the design section. It basically lets you choose what fields you want to have here, what list the form should link to. So if people are entering their details, where are those details going? and there's visibility settings. So this is a pop-up form. So after 10 seconds on a page, the form will pop up, and we won't show that again, even if the user doesn't sign up. If they visit the page again within a space of a week, we'll hold off on showing it to them. And if they've signed up, then we won't show it to them ever again. So there's also you can set it up when someone leaves a page or when someone clicks a link or a button. You can choose that to be the trigger that shows the pop-up. But I like the 10 seconds on a page or however long it is, and choosing the publishing method, so it can be on your own site. So you can choose what pages, or just any page on your site. You can also link to the form or embed the form in a third-party site. So it's just quickly on forms. Automations, there's segments as well, but that's a bit boring. So I'll go into automations and show you. This is basically triggers that send automated messages based on something. So the abandoned cart one. So there's recipes you can look into. So these are basically templated automations. I've got 1 minute left, so I'll try to do this quick. And there's templated automation. So on the abandoned cart one, if we click into that, you basically have to choose triggers, conditions, and actions. So the trigger might be something like when someone adds a product to their cart. The conditions would be these two. So wait for 45 minutes, and then the filter would be a condition. So have they purchased a product or not? If they have not purchased a product, then send them an email. It could be a discount or a promo code or something to kind of push them over the line. If they have, so this is a double negative. If they haven't not purchased a product, then we can update their profile with, hey, this person purchased a Man United jersey, cool. So we can give them that tag, so they like Man United, for example. So this is a nice little user-friendly drag and drop way of putting together automations, and then you just activate it here. But I think that's about it. So we don't have time to look at reports or integrations. But hopefully the video will come out of the Sitecore one, and we'll give you an extra little few little nuggets in there. But yeah,
14 million petabytes of information in about 12 minutes. Well done, Robert. That was exceptional.
Oh, stop.
Stop. Anything else?